for our next speaker of the evening, Brejoya Smarr.
Now, don't forget your medication. December 24th, 2008. These were the words spoken to me as I was leaving ACT Behavioral Care, just 23 days after having my first child. I was Baker active. Greetings, my name is Brejoya Smarr, and I'm here to tell you how I was diagnosed, misdiagnosed, and how I decided I would not let a label define me. December 2007, I was one class shy of finishing my degree. About 4 hours away from home, I said I'll just finish at a local college. But I was also running away. Running away from the guy, the pretty brown-eyed, well-spoken, upstanding guy who had just cheated on me. So I said, you know what, I'm done with the nice guys, or at least the ones who appear nice. And I went home, I celebrated, and I fell with the swag of the next guy. 3 months later, I was pregnant with a restraining order. I had never felt that level of stress. I'm a daddy's girl, and so being called everything but a child of God, I didn't know how to respond, but my body did. And that resulted in postpartum psychosis after having my first child. Now, most people have heard of postpartum depression, feelings of sadness and anxiety, but postpartum psychosis is not as common, but is considered more severe, affecting only 1 in 1,000 moms. Looking back, the signs were there. It started when I was in the hospital. My blood pressure was so high, the doctors would come in and say, whoa, must be new mom jitters. But I never had blood pressure issues before, and it never went down. Then I went home, and my baby just kept crying, and I couldn't sleep, and that turned into insomnia. Next thing you know, I was on top of the world. I would say things like, you know, if Oprah can give away cars, so can I. On top of the world, then to paranoia. I was obsessed with colors and numbers, and I would say things like, you see that guy over there in the green shirt? Don't trust him. Green means evil. Next thing you know, all of the stress that I had been feeling from the day of the beginning of my pregnancy burst and bubbled into rage. That's when I was Baker active. That's when I was medicated. But the medication just made me sleep all day. And I knew that wasn't the life that I wanted for myself. About 6 weeks later, I went in for my follow-up. My OBGYN, she says, bipolar disorder. You were only there for 9 days. How can they give you that type of diagnosis in such a short time? That was the beginning of removing the labels. From that point on, with the help of my doctor, my family, and my faith, we set on a journey discovering different medicines as well as lifestyle, back to a path of wellness. 4 months later, you're having a baby girl. Be careful. You're probably going to go through psychosis again. My response was, no, I'm not. By the time my second daughter was born, I was able to leave that abusive relationship. By this time, I was a single mom with 2 children under the age of 1, and you may be thinking that's enough to make anybody go crazy. But it didn't. And I stand before you, 15 years, medication and psychosis-free. Now, let me tell you who I am. I'm the proud owner of Daytona Beach Music Academy. We just celebrated 10 years. I'm also a published author and also the founder of Arts Transforming Our Tomorrow, which is an arts nonprofit. I'm also a proud wife, and now the mother of two beautiful teenage daughters, and most importantly, a child of God. Now, here's the thing. That's my story. It may not be yours. Maybe you or someone that you love is dealing with a diagnosis. But here's the thing. It's just a label. The label is not you. Thank you.